As a woman, there's no worse feeling than the fear of losing the man that I really respect and want to be with. So today we're going to be talking about, from my perspective as a woman to you gentlemen, what it requires for you as a man to entice or ensure that women around you or the women that you're with is fearful of losing you. Because if she doesn't respect you and she doesn't fear losing you, there's a power imbalance, and let's just call that a unhealthy relationship. I do believe relationships require both individuals to constantly put an intentional effort to support each other, love each other in the ways that we are, and also create a space of mutual respect and, of course, love. And that the efforts and attention and investments are not taken for granted. And so today, we're going to be talking about, in my perspective as a woman, what you gentlemen should reflect on when it comes to ensuring that the woman that you're with is always on her toes. And now, I'm a therapist and obviously a relationship coach, and I never like telling clients or my followers to try to be manipulative with their tactics. I don't want you to fake it, but I want you to be aware that with a level of self-awareness and a higher understanding of yourself, your mental health increases and your ability to actually, let's just call it, not give a fuck about the results or create healthier relationships that's actually mutually beneficial. It's not a transaction, but relationships, both individuals have needs. And so I do believe with that ability, you'll be able to understand what healthy relationship means to you. And that's really the whole goal. Hello, everyone. My name is Christy. I'm a therapist and a relationship coach. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and the like button. It obviously helps with the algorithm, helps me understand what kind of content you guys also like and find helpful so that I can continue making it. But if you're old, welcome back, and we are extremely excited for today. And thank you for giving me the time and space to talk about the stuff that I have to talk about. My whole goal is really to close the gap between men and women. I say this all of the time. We are trying too hard to point fingers, and there's not enough content out there that is modernized, based in somewhat of a science and modern tactics in order to understand how to improve your value and awareness of your value in the marketplace, and obviously your mental health, because beautiful relationships creates beautiful families, and beautiful communities creates a better humanity. That is my entire goal. Now, let's get straight to it. How do you ensure the woman that you're dating fears losing you? Where it's not manipulative, it's not a facade that you're trying to create, but it's by understanding and putting yourself somewhat in alignment with her value and what she's providing. I'm not talking tangible. I'm talking effort, attention, what she's giving. A lot of the times, men, you are told to be givers, 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 doers, doers, doers. You flip the pages until boom, it's too late. You realize even your bare basics of survival needs, love, respect, mutual understanding is lost. And so this is what I want to prevent, even if it is the early stages of dating. So let's get straight to it. Point number one, I am a fish that you're trying to fish. I guess I'm a woman, but I'm self-aware to understand what I like. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. When I am fearful about losing a man, believe it or not, it's a man who is able to call me out on my BS. What does this mean? It's a man who's not afraid of his opinions and how they could possibly be different from mine, and how could it possibly, if he voices that opinion, piss me off. Believe it or not, that's very refreshing in an annoying way, but very enticing. Why? Because I feel like we can genuinely come with our truth. I have the invitation to disagree with him, and he has the invitation to obviously disagree with me. It's no longer a, first date resume, the common SOP of like getting to know each other. We're actually getting somewhere when a man, and when I see a man, have the ability to actually freely disagree without fearing of hurting me. I'm a strong person. I don't get hurt very easily if you disagree with me. That's number one. Number two, You have emotional regulation. And a lot of the times in popular culture, a lot of people misread or misinterpret what emotional regulation means. Yes, emotional regulation means how you regulate negative emotions when things don't go your way, when you're stressed out, when you have anxiety, when you have a sudden onset of depression, possibly, right? Burnout, yes. However, though, also means positive emotions. And let me use a quick example of texting here. There is no better refreshing feeling when I genuinely experience or have experienced, okay, with a man that I was very attracted to, a man who texts freely. When he sees a text, he sometimes answers extremely fast because he feels excited. And sometimes when he's busy, he will take hours and hours and hours and hours to answer. Now, the point is, you're not trying to purposefully play games. But as a woman, I see that you are able to regulate your emotions to the degree that like you feel safe in responding in the way that you want to. Does that make sense? If you're excited, you're not afraid to just respond right away. But if you have something to do, you're also not afraid to take your time or even sometimes forget about it. And so your ability to regulate your emotions, which means not caring too much about what other people think or feel sometimes, not at all where we're getting narcissistic, but you understand that your actions are you should put it first, and other people have the space to regulate their emotions. And that means positive, negative, you answer when you want to, and you don't answer when you don't have time. A very quick example. And that goes with, obviously, when you have celebrations or really hard times, you're able to respond in a very attractive way. There's no better man than meeting a man who's like kind of in his own world. He doesn't care about what other people think, and he is confident about it. And that's what I view as emotional regulation. And you give me space to regulate mine and understand yours. It's like, oh, okay, like that's how you function. Oh, okay, like this is how I function. Let's go with number 3. You meet her needs. Now, gentlemen, this is no new feat for you or new task, but what I want to add to it is you meet her needs, but you don't overdo it. I am not the type of woman to tell my guy friends to start buying her flowers and all this stuff on a first date or create the system in which you're faking it. You're not doing it out of real, genuine intention. And trust me, gentlemen, women can feel it. The right women will be unattracted to love bombers, and the wrong women will let it happen, accept it very freely, and just kind of use it. So if you want to make her feel like she's getting a reward or a surprise, ensure that you meet her needs, but it is her needs and wants, and you're listening, but you're not overdoing it. The tone is really important. There's no better surprise than a man who doesn't always buy flowers, but for some reason, and the moon and the stars somehow aligned, and he just gave it, right? He was listening, but he wasn't really. Kind of enticing. And I'm not saying to manipulate women, but rewards shouldn't be overdone. It should be a gift. A gift is a surprise. It's done with intention. You're not trying to get something out of her by buying her flowers every single month to get something to make her like you more or something like that. It shouldn't be done with that. It's a gift. It's like, okay, here. And that's very attractive. You're not overdoing investments. You're not overdoing the things in which you can provide. You're not overdoing the provider and protector avatar. Please don't. Although I would like it to. I must agree. Please overdo it. Please. Please, please, please. Okay, but trust me, I won't respect you for it. Okay, number 4. And this is a very, very, very obvious one, but not so obvious because it's kind of sensitive. You take care of yourself. You're not afraid of caring about how you look and how you feel. That goes with your physicality, that goes with your health and wellness, that goes with your time with your friends and boys, that goes with locker room talk, that goes with everything in which you use and need to do in order to actually be the man that you are. That's very important. A lot of the times you lose that. You lose all of that, and it's almost like women are sending the wrong message in the beginning. They're clingy, they want to spend all the time with you, they want it, they're like, oh, they get angry when you have to go and see your boys. But if you're not standing strong with listening with what actually is important to you and you give in, she doesn't even know that you're setting the relationship up for failure. Because in the flip end, it's kind of annoying. She'll be like, oh, like, I'm not attracted to you. Why do you not have your own life? Why are you not taking care of your mental health? Why are you not taking care of what's important for you as a guy? I don't feel like you're masculine enough for me. I hear this all the time. So if you want her to actually fear losing you, you have to ensure you protect your own wealth, health, and world. Wow, it's 3 W's. Very closely, and don't lose that, and don't go in and get into temptation to losing that, because I know in the beginning you guys want to spend all the time together and have beautiful 10 times sex and all that stuff. Don't do that. Don't listen to us. We don't know what we want. I'm telling you right now, we don't know what we want. Number 6, you're unafraid of setting standards and acknowledging differences. And what this means is this kind of bleeds into point number 5. Really important that you understand this. You're not afraid to be the man that you are, and you're not afraid to tell her that you're different. You respect that she views things in her own brain, but you're logical and you solve problems logically. Or she's emotional and she, needs to yap and all that stuff. So it's okay to be different, and you're not afraid to acknowledge that. And you're also not afraid to tell her what your standards are if there are differences. So set your standards straight. This is what I will do as a man, and this is what, I want my partner and a woman to do. And you're not afraid to do that. You're not afraid to acknowledge that there's differences and standards and how you see relationships. And I know it's kind of annoying, right? As a woman, I would want the man to understand me and I can blah blah blah, but if there's no more attractive man than a man who almost forces me to grow. And what that means is forces me to understand him, forces me to understand, oh, this is how we're different. And if I want to communicate to him, or if I want to solve some problems in the household and I want to get my needs met, or I want him to understand me a little bit more, this is how I need to communicate to him. There's no better man or more attractive man than a man who allows a woman to grow as a human being. Really, really attractive. Although it's annoying at the moment, if you want a woman like that, yeah, make sure you are unafraid to do those things. And very lastly, point number 7, you understand that relationships is not about similarity, it's about balance. Really important. And early as a first date, right, you understand that there needs to be a reciprocal amount of effort, that you're not, you don't have a dating tactic SOP, standard of operation, of taking her on a beautiful date and you're gonna pay for everything and get her to really, 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 really like you, and you become almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't even become about her, it becomes about what you can get out of her. So there's no better and more attractive man that in his personal life, he is a provider, he is a protector, he spoils the people that he cares about, he gives freely, but that doesn't mean he does that for just anyone. And it's about reciprocal loyalty, support, effort, attention, and closeness. And so control the signs and signals that you give out as early as a first date. I know it doesn't seem very important to you, but just control it. And also, if you want to bring a woman to a 5-star Michelin restaurant, and you're that kind of man that may be able to provide it, and you just like the experience, and you like to have a beautiful woman beside you to just enjoy that night with, great. It's for company, great. But it's unattractive when, and this is also as a woman, I become extremely, extremely scared to go to grand gestures of first dates, only because I feel like sometimes men become resentful if you end up not liking them. And what I mean by that is, if you want her to fear losing you and you're gonna bring her to a beautiful restaurant, there's no more attractive than meeting a man who's like, yeah, we're gonna have a good time, and that's about it. And you're genuinely not resentful towards anything that or outcome dependent, and that feels very safe for a woman. Because if you could become resentful, then that creates essentially women who are scared to actually go to grand things, or women who only want that. So control relationships is about balance. Don't do something that you don't want to do just to get her to like you a little bit more. That is when it can get extremely toxic for you, and women can feel that. Okay, so if you want her to fear actually losing you a little bit, don't do something. Give freely, but don't hate if she doesn't give back. That's why I say it's about balance and control, and you can read the room. Very important. So I hope you guys found these 7 tips extremely helpful. If you can combine all of them together, I don't think you would have too hard of a time really creating some options for you. However, though, I genuinely do believe therapy is extremely important when it comes to understanding either why you're not doing this, or why you have the tendency to be ghosted, or constantly women is disrespectful and you feel like they're using you, or not afraid to lose you, or just hot and cold and breadcrumby. Or trust me, gentlemen, it's not about your looks. It's not about like your status and things like that all of the time. It's not just that. It's usually about your level of awareness of yourself and the behaviors that you choose to exude. So if this is something that you're interested in, and this is something that you are working on, and you want to book a call with me, please feel free to book a call with me in the link down below. In 60 minutes, we will get to your problem, ask you some challenging questions, and give you some of my advice, opinions, to hopefully get you unstuck. So love you guys all. Remember, self-awareness is sexy, because with self-awareness, your mental health improves, your self-value increases, and your ability to actually act out in the person that you want to be increases. It's very attractive. That's how you attract people and communities and women. Love you guys all. Hope you found this helpful. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button and the like button. And until next time, bye. Hi everyone, if you enjoyed our content, don't forget to follow us on TikTok and IG where we post daily, and YouTube where we post weekly.